simple phrases and sentences. And at the end, I'll ask who said the sentences. The one who said it is requested to remain silent. It's more like a listening test. Over to you, Toastmaster Zishan.
Thank you very much, Imran Alam, President Imran Alam. And there is this one more thing that I'd like to add. You're not supposed to stay silent, but do not smile. Because it happened to me earlier when I was smiling, people guessed it. Moving forward, we have the vote counter, and that was TM Azaz, and he's unable to join us again, so that role is open for anyone for the taking. Saad, thank you very much for jumping in. Thank you very much, Saad. Could you please do the honors of the role of vote counter?
Yeah, so fellow Toastmasters, my role as the vote counter would be to ask for votes after every segment of the meeting. So after every segment, you will receive a link on the WhatsApp. If you can vote over there, or you can vote by a Zoom message to me, and my vote won't be allowed until we have a tie. So I'll be presenting my report right at the end. That's about it. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, TM Saad. I felicitate the courage that you have taken the role at the 11th hour. Thank you. Now moving forward, we have another, should I say, a role which is open for everybody for the taking. That is the Is and Ums counter. It is an interesting role. I've done it several times and it was interesting for me. So I would encourage anyone to raise their hands and take up that role. The counter.
Give it to Toastmaster Anam.
Toastmaster Anam. Okay. Miss Anam, would you be kind enough to take the role of the counter?
Yes, sure.
Thank you very much for the 11th hour taking. Could you please share what is the role about?
Okay. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, being an R counter, I'll be monitoring the R's and Ums that you would be using during the meeting. And in the end, I'll be presenting my report. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Mr. Bhatt. Thank you very much for Ms. Anam. Thank you very much for taking the 11th hour notice. Really appreciate it. Now we have the last, but then that Toastmaster has done her role initially anyways, and that is the fabulous Miss Hiba, the joke master. Miss Hiba, would you like to share at least one or two jokes as part of this curriculum?
Okay, I'll repeat the jokes. What do you call security guard working outside the Samsung shop? Guardians of the Galaxy. And yesterday I saw A guy spilled all his Scrabble letters on the street. I asked him, what's the word on the street? And I'll give another one. Why are chemists great for solving problems? Because they have all the solutions. Thank you.
Is it done?
Yeah, it's done.
All right. Thank you very much, Ms. Sabha. Thank you very much for sharing this again. I really appreciate it. Now, this concludes the whole roles that are going to support those three sections. So moving forward, the prepared speeches section. That's where the, should I say, the drama, the energy, and everything is there. So moving forward, I would like to call upon Mr. Mohsen. And are you ready, Mr. Mohsen?
Yep, I'm ready.
All right, that's good. So Mr. Mohsen is going to deliver his speech, and his evaluator is Tia Marusa. Come on, Tia Marusa, could you please share the details of the speech?
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Toastmaster Mohsen is giving his 7th speech from the CC manual. The topic of the speech is very long, but the topic of the project is research your topic. The objectives of the speech are collect information about your topic from numerous resources, carefully support your points and opinions with specific facts, examples, and illustrations gathered through research. The time is 5 to 7 minutes. Over to you, Toastmaster Mohsen.
Okay. So imagine a person was going somewhere in a car and suddenly he saw that he got stuck in traffic jam. And he started getting really angry. Like, why is this happening with me? I don't deserve it. It's all the fault of other people. If only they would drive properly. Ah! Okay, I've calmed down. Now suppose that there's another person who's going somewhere in the same traffic and he's stuck. And he thought, okay, like I'm stuck and there's nothing I can do. So let's hear to some music. Okay, so this is another person who's listening to song. Now my question to you is, these two people are stuck in same situation. They both are stuck in traffic. But why are they experiencing these different emotions? Shouldn't they be experiencing the same emotions? So fellow Toastmasters and guests, Assalamu alaikum and good afternoon. Today I will be talking about rational emotive behavioral therapy. Now I know it's a bit of a mouthful, but please bear with me. It's a psychotherapy that was developed by Albert Ellis. And the basic belief is that it's not the event, but our views and our beliefs that affect us. It works on a model called ABCDE. So this is the model. A is the activating event, B is the irrational belief, C is the consequence, D is disputing belief, and N is new affective belief. E is okay. So first, let me talk about A and C, which is activating event, and C, which is consequence. Now, most people believe that activating event, which is getting stuck in traffic, results in the consequence, which is getting angry. But IEBT says that it's not the activating event really which is causing the person to become angry or sad or frustrated or happy, but rather it's their irrational belief, which is the B from the acronym. So our irrational belief could be about ourselves, it could be about other people's, or it could be about the world. And the remaining word from acronym are D and E, which is disputing your belief, and E is the new affective belief. So let me talk first about the irrational belief. Now there are three irrational beliefs, three main irrational beliefs, which are called the three basic must, which are I must do well always, you must treat me well, and the world must be easy and fair for me. And these are the irrational beliefs, and all our problems and all our emotions that are bad for us arise from these three basic irrational beliefs. So the solution to this problem is to have these three acceptances that we should follow, and then we can control our bad emotions, things that affect us. The first one is unconditional self acceptance. So the idea is I have flaws, but which does not mean that I am any less or more worthy than any other human being. The second acceptance is unconditional acceptance of others, which basically means that it's possible that other people will treat me unfairly, but that does not mean that they are any less worthy or more worthy than other human beings. And the third unconditional acceptance is for the life. Life is unpleasant. It's possible that life will be unpleasant, but it's never awful, and it's almost always bearable. Now, the idea is to always dispute, first identify the irrational beliefs, and then you dispute these irrational beliefs. Now, it takes a lot of practice to implement them, but with time and with a lot of practice, there will come a time when you will be able to apply these things and you will have new effective beliefs in your life. Let me give you an example of this. There's a disease, a psychological disease, you can say, which is social anxiety disorder. So the person would be thinking that everyone should like me. I should appear confident when I'm talking to people, and I should not make any mistake. But these beliefs are irrational because, first of all, it's possible that I will make mistakes. Plus, it's possible that people will not hate me. And most importantly, even if people do hate me and even if I do make mistakes, the world will not end. So if we can practice these rational beliefs instead of the irrational belief, a time will come when we will be able to live a more happy and meaningful life. Now, the research shows that REBT, which is a type of cognitive behavioral therapy, is effective. But a lot of time there's a need for a therapist to conduct these sessions. But with practice, but it takes practice. So that's REBT, Rational Emotive Behavioral Therapy in a nutshell. So over to the Toastmaster of the afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tim Wilson. It was a, what should I say, informative speech. And I would encourage the evaluator to please do the a speaker who doesn't need actually any kind of words, because he's a fabulous speaker. I learned a lot from him. I'm sure everybody does. And the way he speaks is like butter coming out of his mouth. Not in the sense that, not in the butter sense, but then the subtle rhythm, the softness, and the piercing of those words directly into the hearts, not the minds. That I have confronted only one individual in this KTC, and that is none other than the great TM Asghar Ali. TM Asghar, please do the honors, and you will be actually evaluated by, let me see.
TM Samir.
Okay,
TM
that
Samir.
would be great. TM Samir, could you please share the project details? And
yes, I'll be very happy to. Today, TM Asghar is going to be doing his Project 1 Level 2 from Innovative Planning, My Leadership Style, in which he will discuss his own leadership style or leadership styles in general and the impacts that they have. Time 5 to 7 minutes. TM Asghar.
Thank you, TM Samir. But am I audible and clear or visibly? Am I visible?
Yes, you're visible and audible.
Okay, thank you. I think I'm not visible. My The other day, I asked one of my friends if he had had any experience about leadership. He calmly replied, "Well, I'm admin of a WhatsApp group." Later on, I realized that he is indeed talking about his leadership skill. Mr. President, dear Toastmasters, and if there is a guest, uh, you like to lead or to be led? Mostly the answer is it depends. And yes, it does. The best leader analyzes the situation and then he or she act according to the situation. In my case, I tried to mold my leadership as my working career progressed as a public servant in public sector. After spending 16 years in that sector, it was revealed that the style I had adopted was very close to the bureaucratic style of leadership. But here is a problem. The problem, the very name of bureaucracy has become a target of unsavory remarks lately. People privately expressed their hatred and openly, mildly admit that this style of leadership is not in sync with reality. Now, what is the bureaucratic style is? It is basically, this style is basically a system of management whereby employed or made to follow certain rules and regulations and line of authority created by superior. The instructions are carefully choreographed down to the minute details. The productivity, it is said, that can be affected because in this leadership model, because the decision makers slow down in order to ensure whether they are following right rules and regulation. Now the $1,000,000 question is, why swimming against the stream? Why I'm sorry, it is constantly annotations. Why I'm not swimming against the stream? Why I'm choosing this style of leadership? I think there are two reasons. Number one, because this style is the most dominated one in the world. Secondly, because I still believe that this style is the most relevant one in spite of all the misunderstanding that we have around this. Let me give a couple of examples to support my style. Holding meetings and committees are two examples of this leadership style. Regardless what happens in practice, meetings and committees are all about forging a consensus and agreeing upon certain targets, taking the relevant stakeholders with them by demonstrating respect rather than imposing them from the above. Because as Eisenhower once said, that the leadership is not about hitting their head. That is assault, not leadership. Secondly, the way I like this leadership is that it engages top-down approach. It expects certain things from the above and from the below. But at the same time, every smallest units are expected to show the leadership style and make a difference. Remember once Dalai Lama said that if you think that you are too small to make a difference, then try sleeping with a mosquito. But at the same time, you cannot ignore supervision. Remember once Barack Obama said that even Washington needs an adult supervision. In our case, we also need a big brother who can watch you. Dear Toastmasters, like public sector, all non-governmental organization, even non-profit organization like Toastmaster International may be flexible in its operational and implementation at club level, but I believe it is very much centralized, bureaucratic, and top-down in its approach. The role holders have a clear laid down instructions what he or she is supposed to do. What district director growth does, the district quality director is not supposed to do the same thing. Overall, I believe that, of course, there is a learning curve within the organization, which is constantly waking the organization into the reality of modern age. But I think that organization, whether it is a private, semi-government, or non-profit, they do not follow a certain leadership styles. In today's world, the best style is what the situation is or the task to be performed. The rest is all about defending our cognitive biases. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, TM Master, for sharing your valuable lessons and knowledge and experience related to the topic. I would encourage the evaluator to do the honors of evaluating TM Master. Moving forward, we have a dynamic, winning speaker, and that not only surprises us whenever he walks on the stage, but also engages the audience to, I would say, 100%. I admire him, and I'm sure everybody does. We have none other than Javed Bhatti, and he's being evaluated by TM President Imran Rana. President Imran Rana, please do the honors to share TM Javed Bhatti's project and the speech.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Zishan. Today, Toastmaster Javed Bhatti is delivering his project from presentation mastery, managing a difficult audience. His speech title is Entrepreneurship Explained. The purpose of this project is for the member to practice the skills needed to address audience challenges when he or she presents outside of the Toastmasters Club. Time limit is 10 to 15 minutes. Over to you, Toastmaster Javed.
Excuse me, Toastmaster Imran, can you specify whether the whole time is 10 to 15 minutes or is it broken into segments?
Yeah, actually it is. It's like his speech time limit is 5 to 7 minutes. So he, in 10 to 15 minutes, he has to manage the disruptors as well.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, am I audible and the screen is visible? All right, thank you. Okay, good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters, and very happy Eid to all of you. In the next few minutes, I am going to try and explain a subject that is very dear to me, and I feel this subject has an answer to a lot of our society's problem that we face today, that is called entrepreneurship. So I'm going to try and explain this subject and what it is, and what is an entrepreneurial mindset. So as per Merriam-Webster dictionary, who is an entrepreneur? The definition is: entrepreneur is someone who organizes, manages, and assumes the risk of a business. This is a very simple definition, but in simple terms, the fancy word entrepreneur just means an independent business owner. Now, what is entrepreneurship? Entrepreneurship can be defined as pursuing an opportunity irrespective of availability of resources. This is a very bold uh, definition, we may call it. In entrepreneurship, a person identifies, mobilizes, refines, and executes some opportunity without and independent of available resources. How? This is I'm going to try and explain in next few slides. How is entrepreneurship different than management sciences? How it is different than the traditional business education that we have? Well, in traditional business model, we have initially we have a very bold kind of a vision, a goal. Then comes acquiring means. Then we have to acquire different means, like we have to acquire man, machine, building, material, equipment for that vision to be executed. Then comes the planning to execute. Then comes the strategy part, how we are going to execute those means. And most often of the times, this vision has to be big, which means big, hairy, and audacious goal.